Hello scientists! Happy Thursday! Welcome to another Virtually Alive episode. Today's episode is going to be all about germs and how they travel.
A germ is a tiny organism that causes a disease in a plant or animal. We are going to look closely at 4 different kinds of germs. Bacteria are tiny single-celled organisms that get nutrients from their environments. In some cases, that environment is you. Some bacteria are really good for our bodies. They help keep the digestive system in working order and keep harmful bacteria from moving in. But some bacteria are used to make medicines and vaccines. But bacteria can cause trouble too, as with cavities, ear infections, or a strep throat. Antibiotics are used to treat bacterial infections. Next, we have viruses. Viruses are even smaller than bacteria. They aren't even a full cell. Viruses are simply genetic material, which is DNA or RNA, like we talked about in our second video, that are packaged inside of a protein coating. They need to use another cell's structures to reproduce. This means they can't survive unless they're living inside something else, such as a person, animal, or plant. Viruses can only live for a very short time outside other living cells. They'll die quickly unless a live host comes along. Viruses cause minor sicknesses like colds, common illnesses like the flu, and very serious diseases like smallpox. Antibiotics are not effective against viruses, and antiviral medicines have been developed against a small, select group of viruses. Now, unlike viruses, fungi are multi-celled plant-like organisms. A fungus gets nutrition from plants, food, and animals in damp, warm environments. Many fungal infections, such as athlete's foot, are not dangerous to a healthy person. Lastly, protozoa are one-celled organisms, like bacteria, but bigger. They contain a nucleus and other cell structures, making them more like plant and animal cells. Protozoa love moisture, so intestinal infections and other diseases they cause often spread through contaminated water. Some protozoa are parasites. This means they need to live on or in another organism like an animal or plant to survive. For example, the protozoa that causes malaria grows inside red blood cells, eventually destroying them. In this activity, we are going to make a germ model and show why it is so easy for germs to cause problems. Now that we know a little bit about germs, we are going to make a model. For this activity, we are going to be using cotton Q-tips and some Play-Doh. Check out episode 4 to learn how we made our Play-Doh. To make our germ model, it is actually really simple. First, we have to form a ball of Play-Doh. Then, we put our cotton tips into the ball at even distances, as shown here. These cotton tips represent the part of the germ that allows it to attach to things easier by acting like hooks, which is one of the most important physical parts of germs when it comes to their spreading. While our models do look really cool, if you want to see some actual germ pictures of specific diseases, you can check the Huffington Post article linked in the description. Now, our second activity is all about sneezing. If you sneeze, something was probably irritating or tickling the inside of your nose. Sneezing, also called sternutation, is your body's way of removing an irritation from your nose. When the inside of your nose gets a tickle, a message is sent to a special part of your brain called the sneeze center. The sneeze center then sends a message to all the muscles that have to work together to create the amazingly complicated process that we call the sneeze. Some of the muscles involved are the abdominal muscles, the chest muscles, the diaphragm, the muscles that control your vocal cords, your eyelid muscles, and the muscles in the back of your throat. It is the job of the sneeze center to make all these muscles work together in just the right order to send that irritation flying out of your nose. Sneezing can send tiny particles speeding out of your nose at up to 100 miles per hour. For this demonstration, we will show just how far sneezes can travel and why it's super important to cover your sneeze. The materials that we need for this activity all about sneezing are a spray bottle, water, food coloring, a ruler, and white paper. To do this activity, fill a spray bottle with water and a few drops of food coloring. Start 5 centimeters away from your white paper and spray it with the spray bottle. Then, move at increasing distances away from your paper and measure them, and then spray. In this demonstration, the colored water actually represents germs that are traveling through the air with every sneeze. This is why we cover our sneezes with our arms. Even if there may not be a person near you, the germs can stay alive on inanimate objects such as door handles, tabletops, or chairs. Now, our last activity is all about washing our hands. Now that we know about germs, we know how important it is to make sure that we don't spread them. If you look at your hands now, you probably won't see any of these nasty germs. That's because they're so tiny. To test how hard you need to scrub your hands to make sure to get rid of all the germs, we are going to need some glitter, soap, and a sink with running water. To start, cover your hands with glitter, all over them. Then we are going to test different ways of washing our hands. We can try and remove the glitter by washing our hands with just water, just soap, and then with water, soap, and lots of rubbing. As you should be able to see, the last method should be the most effective. This is because water alone cannot remove bacteria from our hands, and why it's so important to make sure that we wash our hands really good to ensure that we kill all of those nasty germs and stay very safe and healthy.
Thanks for watching and tune in next week. Bye!